Microbrands are getting better at fulfilling watch community's wish in the recent years. They are mostly born of the like-minded enthusiasts and have a compact organization. That's why they are more likely to understand and respond to us much better than big brands do. Today, we'll check out these two outstanding microbrands, Baltic and Laurier. Both are offering great products, ranging from around $500 up to over $1,000 for the complication pieces. Their product range cover multiple genres that are most popular in wristwatch landscape: field watch, dive watch, GMT, and chronograph. And today, we are looking into their dive watches. Luckily, both brands keep them compact in sizing. That is within my range to pull off: the Aquascaphe from Baltic and the Neptune from Laurier. The obvious thing you might notice is that I replaced their original bracelet with aftermarket rubber straps. This is because I feel that on bracelet, both watches look a bit bigger, and these are the pieces that are on my upper limit size, around 38 to 39 millimeters, and lug to lug 46 to 47. So I need to visually tame them down a bit. I chose to pair them with color rubber straps to add some flares into the otherwise monotonic pieces. I hope that it makes you see them in the way that is different from many other reviews online. The first one is Laurier Neptune. It has a conventional dive watch styling, black dial with black rotating bezel. I chose to pick up the gilt dial variant. I was hooked into Laurier with their another diver, the Hydra, which was unfortunately not available when I got to know them. Their first two series are totally different watch from what Hydra is today, the Series 3. My watch is the second generation Neptune. Up until now, 2023, the Neptune has been revamped 3 times. The current iteration is Neptune IV. The changes were incremental over the years, which Laurier is making the right move to follow the footsteps of Rolex in keeping the DNA of the model and keep on slowly refining the design, like what they do with the Submariner. The current generation comes with optional date window, the name Neptune in red, and shorter lug to lug. A welcoming change for me, as I might be able to pull it off better with original bracelet. Note the big arrow hands that you can find in many of Laurier models. It seems to be their favorite type of hands. This design vocabulary has become one of the signatures of the brand. On the dial, the gilt style makes it look more sophisticated and add vintage vibe to it. The problem I find in gilt dial diver is that the very bright lume looks out of place in some lighting. When you don't see the printing, the lume markers looks drifting on the background, without anything to visually regulate them. In good natural light, you'll see a nice combination between navy tone of strap, gilt dial printing, and gold tone hands, which I didn't foresee when pairing the strap, but think it adds much more depth to this simple piece. The case is handsome, with long lug and finished sharply with mirror polish chamfers. Laurier case design always looks aerodynamic to me, like the avant-garde of the 60s and 70s. Back when the design community was experimenting with free-flowing shape of reinforced concrete and plastic. I used to wear it on original bracelet, brown leather strap, and now it is on navy rubber strap with curved end. You can see how far the lock holes are from the case, from the space they left. It will surely look better with the strap matching this dimension to eliminate this gap. That might be hard to find, but I'll keep looking for it. The second piece today is Baltic Aquascaphe. I had this piece on the original bead of rice bracelet for some time. It looks good, but feels clumsy on my wrist and somewhat lacking the element of fun. Because the design is clean, simple, and focusing on the details, so not much wrist time back then. Until one day, I had a new Baltic piece and tried swapping the bracelet to the new one and paired this piece with green rubber strap. That kind of resurrects my relationship with this piece. Now it screams comfort and fun, and it's very tempting for me to pick up. The dial is reserved at first glance, but when you spend time with it, you start to note the nuance that the designer put into the 12 marker, Aquascaphe in orange, and recessed 3, 6, and 9 triangular markers. In good lighting, you'll also see the texture dial. The white printing looks smooth, probably because the lines are thin and the dial is dark gray with texture rather than black, making the contrast less dramatic. The choice of mini track is one of my favorite. The railroad style with inner side opened remind me of an effortlessly cool vintage Rolex, the Big Crown 6538 from the 50s. The bezel is stainless steel 12-hour format, suitable for keeping track of different time zones when traveling. The number styling is vintage, with open 6 like Panerai or vintage Rolex numeral, framed with concentric circles. I was hesitating between sapphire glass color bezel and stainless steel one, but ended up choosing this variant with the intention to make the watch look smaller by surrounding the black dial with contrast tone of stainless steel, rather than extending the dial out with the same tone bezel. The case is all in brushed stainless steel, no alternate finish, and simple without chamfer corner. In this case, Baltic decision to have wider and overhand bezel makes the case less prominent. When you look at it straight on, it looks simply like the watch with all 4 locks extended as limbs, not the whole integrated case shape. Overall, I enjoy the Aquascaphe much more after putting it on this rubber strap. The fact that most of the surface is well-finished stainless steel, even though it is a brush finish, makes the whole thing play well with light. Not really shiny, but looks refined, and contrasts beautifully with the colorful rubber strap. So, which of the two should you pick up? It very much depends on what you want from this particular acquisition and what you already have in the collection. If you like bold design expression with beautiful combination of vintage elements, I would say go for L'Oreal Neptune. But if you like something more quiet, but full of details to be discovered, go for the Aquascaphe. Or you can be indecisive like me and have them both. After all, both will not cost you any more than a piece from major brands. As vintage dive watches are getting more expensive, microbrands are becoming more legitimate choice for watch enthusiasts. It is the democratization of design, production, and even commercial aspects like marketing and distribution that make all this possible. Before the internet, it is very difficult for Baltic or L'Oreal to reach out to people like you and me, or for us to find them. By we, I mean watch enthusiasts who value more about design and craftsmanship. Because for general public, a well-known brand may still be the key decision factor when spending on a watch, and they may not feel like wearing a brand that is virtually unknown to others. Feel free to let me know your verdicts, whether you like the strap matches I've made. I know that it is not to everyone's taste. If you have some other recommendation, I'm also willing to try.